What's up, guys? So no internet again today. I'm going to be going to my grandma's house. We'll get this video out a bit earlier than the one yesterday since I know what the issue is now. We do have a Comcast guy coming over to solve the problem today. I think the footage isn't that bad today. I went through all my old videos I've saved on my computer and got the best footage possible, so I think you guys will enjoy that. But I appreciate your guys' support. I'm doing my best to get a video up daily, and today, you read the title, it's the top 10 best DPS duo in the Overwatch League. You guys asked for this yesterday, so I'm here to deliver it for you guys. So I basically went through all the teams, and I didn't necessarily search for the best DPS players on the team. I got the two that I felt mixed together the best and provided the most together for their team. And before we get into this, guys, pause the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, because you know what it is. Overwatch daily content. I bring you guys what you want, and that's what it's all about. So let's go ahead and hop into this, guys. Starting off at number 10, we have Baby and Dante from the San Francisco Shock. Now, there's 12 teams in the Overwatch League, right, guys? So that means two of the team's DPS duos are probably not going to make this list. The reason why I wanted to put Baby and Dante on this list is because I feel like they have way more potential together than any of the other teams that I didn't put on this list. I think with the little improvements here and there, these two players can really thrive in the league, especially together. Baby, I think all around, he's one of the best DPS players in the league. From his Widowmaker to his McCree to his Soldier 76. He's just a hardcore hit scan specialist, and I've personally seen his aim hands-on, and it's very good. Now for Dante, he's very young still, and I think with a little more practice, he can become one of the best tracers or Genjis in the league. I think something that San Francisco needs to start utilizing more is Dante's Genji. He was a very good Genji before, but I understand that they need to put him on Tracer because that is his role right now. He's also very deadly on that Tracer though, so you definitely can't count him out when it comes to that. And for these reasons, I got Baby and Dante at number 10. Now let's move on to number 9. We have Seagull and Effect from the Dallas Fuel. Now, the reason why I wanted to put these two on here is because they have had great performances together in their past two sets. I know they haven't played much together so far in the league, pretty much just last week strictly. And the reason why Taimu's not in here is because Taimu's only really been a standout player on that Roadhog, and he hasn't really looked that great on anything else. As for Seagull, he's really been showing up on the Pharah, the Junkrat, the Genji. He's been having great performances on these heroes, and of course there's Effect, one of the best tracers in the world, also starting to get really good at that McCree and Widowmaker. So I think these two combined together can really do some damage, and Seagull's been impressing me a lot. I really mainly wanted to talk about Seagull in these two, because we all know how good Effect is. There's no need to really boast him, but Seagull has impressed me a lot in his past two games, especially against the Boston Uprising. He showed up in that game. His statistics, they've been on par with Effect. He's really been performing, and these two can really move up further in this list if there was more games to judge them by. So for that reason, I got Seagull and Effect at number 9. Moving on to number 8, we have Asher and Hydration from the Los Angeles Gladiators. Now the reason why I put these two above the other two, because I feel as a duo, they are able to cover more areas rather than like Baby and Dante, and they have more experience and more games played to look at than Seagull and Effect. So when you look at Hydration's hero pool, yeah, Baby can play a lot of heroes, his Pharaoh's pretty good, and then his hit scans are pretty good. But Hydration can literally play almost every single DPS hero and tanks. So he can go from Roadhog, Zarya, all the way to the Pharah, Genji, and Doomfist. He pretty much plays it all, and for that reason, I think he's a bit more flexible and can cover more areas than Baby. And as for Asher, I think Asher's just a much more clean and crisp tracer player than Dante. Although Dante is good, Asher's just like one level higher than him, and I think these two players combined do more work together than Baby and Dante combined. Now as for Seagull and Effect, maybe I could have put them higher than Asher and Hydration, but I feel that small sample size of games that they've played together hurts them a little bit. And Asher and Hydration have a lot played together. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering why didn't I put Surefour in here. I think Asher and Hydration just combined together for a more well-rounded hero pool. But that being said, Surefour can easily be subbed in for either Asher or Hydration on this list. So nothing to take away from Surefour. I just think these two put together are a little bit better. And moving on to number 7, we have Soon and Silkthread for the Los Angeles Valiant. Now, if this was week 2 or week 1, I would have put Soon and Silkthread much higher. They were super impressive. Now, I had a lot of you guys in my last video commenting about how I don't like the Los Angeles Valiant. I'm clearly not a fan of them, or I hate them or something. It's kind of the same situation that I went through with Dallas Fuel. Guys, the Los Angeles Valiant were a very, very good team through week 1. During week 2, they were good as well, but you could noticeably see them slipping since week 2 to now. They haven't been playing as good. They've been less clean. Silk Thread hasn't looked as crisp on all the heroes he's been playing. Soon hasn't been hard carrying. And that first week, Soon literally destroyed everybody. He looked like the best Widowmaker and Tracer in the league, almost hands down. He was popping off. And likewise on Silk Thread, he looked very good. He was flexing onto every single hero and putting on top tier performances. And I'm not saying they're playing bad now, but they're just nowhere near that level they were there before. They went from an insane level to a more like even and mediocre level. And it has nothing to do with me hating the Los Angeles Valiant or not being a fan of them. I like them. I've hyped them up in my predictions from week 1 to week 2. And now I just sort of see them slipping. I see them losing to these teams coming up like the Philadelphia Fusion and the Boston Uprising. And, you know, it just is what it is, guys. They're very good players, but this is where I rate them at this moment. Moving on to number 6, we have Dream Casper and Striker. Oh man, have I been impressed by these two, specifically Dream Casper. Because coming into the preseason and the regular season, Striker was the one being hyped up as, wow, this guy is really going to be one of the best tracers in the league. He is so good in these scrims. All these pro teams saying, wow, yeah, we got to watch out for Striker. He has been popping off in scrims. He looks like one of the best tracers. Nobody was really saying anything about Dream Casper. And when the season started, Striker was sort of underperforming compared to the standards that people were holding him to. I'm not saying he was playing bad, but he definitely wasn't looking like the player that some of these pros have been saying he was in scrims. And I had me thinking a little bit, and I was watching Dream Casper, and holy crap, this guy was doing everything on Pharah, on Genji, Roadhog, Widowmaker. The guy was literally just flexing onto every single hero on the roster and performing at an extremely high level, especially that Genji and Pharah. He looks really good on Genji and Pharah. He might be top 3 Genji/Pharah players in the league right now. And as of last week, Striker has been performing to that level that the pros said he was going to coming into the league. So I'm very impressed by him. These two can really rise on this list. The main reason I didn't put them higher is because I think the other players I listed are better. But with a couple more weeks of good performances like the last one, they can easily rise to top 4, maybe even top 3. Dream Casper and Striker are very good. Moving on to number 5, we have Shadowburn and Carpe from the Philadelphia Fusion. Now, these two have really impressed me. Holy crap, Shadowburn's Genji is insane. This guy is, I don't want to say the best Genji in the league, but he's up there, top 2 or 3 with Profit. When I think about a duo that I want to have on Tracer and Genji in the league, one of the first ones that come to mind are Shadowburn and Carpe. Those two players have specifically mastered the Genji and Tracer dive comp. They work so well together, and just individually, they are so clean on their heroes. I mean, Genji for Shadowburn, he just does everything at the absolute highest level. I'm mind blown every time I watch him play and see him do things. And then Carpe, his Tracer mechanics, so clean. He's always in the right spot. His aim, his movement, it's all just so good. That bomb he hit on Anubis was incredible on Mercy. Wow. Just these two players are very good. The reason why they're not higher is because I do feel like they're kind of limited to that Tracer Genji. They could swap off, yeah, Shadowburn can play the Pharah at a good level, Carpe can play Widowmaker at a good level, but it's just not to the standards of their Tracer and Genji. Their Tracer and Genji is just too good, and if they can prove that they're very good on other heroes, which I know they are, I mean, we know they're good. Carpe's Widowmaker is very good. I'm not saying he's not good at it, just in comparison to their Tracer Genji, if they can get their other combination of heroes up there, they can definitely rise on this list. Coming in at number 4, we have Fleta and Munchkin. Now, some people might complain and say, oh, these guys should definitely be higher. The reason why they're not higher is because I feel like Fleta kind of carries this. I think Munchkin is a good player, but he's kind of limited to that Tracer, and he's nowhere near like the best Tracers in the league. Like, for example, I think Carpe and Striker are both better than Munchkin, even soon. So if we keep going down this list, we keep finding Tracers on these teams who are better than Munchkin. Although he is still good and solid, I don't see him on the level of some of these other players. But then we start talking about Fleta. He is insane. His Widowmaker, his Genji. He's very flexible. I mean, I specifically want to talk about that Widowmaker. He is hands down the best Widowmaker in the league. He consistently makes incredible plays on that hero for his team. He absolutely carries them in dire situations. And if it wasn't for Munchkin kind of slacking, now maybe I am giving Munchkin a little bit of a hard time, but I just don't see him on the level of these other Tracers. And he's good, but he's just that level under, kind of like with Dante. Now, I don't know if that's a little too harsh. That's just my opinion. Maybe maybe I should give him another look, but I do feel like the next 3 DPS duos are better in general. So let's move on to top 3. We have Linkser and Jake from the Houston Outlaws. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of you who disagree with me, but there will be a lot of you that do agree with me. Linkser and Jake are by far alone 2 of the best Western DPS in the league. Now, I'm sure Jake might get some flack from some people saying, oh, he can only play Junkrat, you know, he's not that good. Personally, I don't know why Jake gets this rough time from people. I don't know if it's because he's like a PR bot or what, but Jake is very good, and his Junkrat is incredible. He might be one of the best Junkrats in the league. Top 2 or 3, maybe even number 1 on some people's lists. Jake is insane. He can not only play that Junkrat at a high level, he can flex to that Pharah, he can flex to that Genji. I think he proved it last week that he is a very good Genji. He's even been playing that Tracer at a decent level. He had, I think it was a 92% teamfight win ratio on Tracer with 30 minutes played on Winston's lab. That is very good, guys. 30 minutes played, that's at least 25 team fights, I'd say. 20 to 30 team fights. If he's winning 92% of those 20 to 30 team fights on Tracer, that is incredible. I think Jake has been popping off. Linkser, do I even need to go into this guy? He is so flexible. His McCree and Widowmaker are absolute god tier. He can play any DPS hero. Put him on it, he'll perform and pop off. For this reason, I got Houston Outlaws DPS duo Linkser and Jake at number 3. Moving on to number 2, we have Sabiobli and Libro from the New York Excelsior. Now, it was very hard for me to pick either Libro or Pine to put in here. They're both very good, but I figured I'd put Libro because he plays more games than Pine. He plays 3 times more. Pine only comes in for that Koth map, and sometimes even Libro plays the Koth maps. Just like their Soul Dynasty set, Libro played all 5 maps, and I feel because of that, we have to put him in this duo list with SBB. Again, there's just not very many games to judge Pine off. Yes, he plays like an absolute animal on those games on Elios and Oasis, but you just can't put him on this list because Libro has dominated with SBB. They took out Soul Dynasty together. Libro's very flexible. His Pharah's very good. His Genji's very good. And SBB is definitely looking like one of the best Tracers in the league. He's always been held to a high regard, and he always shows up no matter who they're playing. There's not much more to argue or to be said about these two. The New York Excelsior's DPS duo are insane, and that's why they're at number 2. And last but not least, we have the number 1 DPS duo in the league. You guys already know who it is. I haven't said them yet, so if you don't know who it is, you're crazy because it's Prophet and Birdring. Now, maybe some people disagree. Maybe they should be number 2, number 3. I think they're number 1 personally because Prophet, out of this world, best player in the league in my opinion. I know some of you guys still don't agree with me on this, but some of you guys are starting to move over and understand why I think Prophet is going to be one of the best players in the history of the Overwatch League. Simply, the guy plays so good on so many heroes. He's like SBB on Tracer, then he's like Shadowburn on the Genji, then he's like Jake on the Junkrat. Like, he plays at the highest level on so many heroes. Now, there's a lot of flexible players in the league that I've gone over, like Baby Bay, Dream Casper, Fleta, Linkser, but Prophet just has to take the cake, dude. He is so good at these heroes, and it pains me to hear people disagree with me because I am so adamant about this. I think this guy is so good. What he's done so far in the league and prior to the league is incredible. And then I haven't even gotten into Birdring yet, guys. Everybody knows how good Birdring is. I think recently, yeah, I've been overshadowing Birdring with Prophet, but Birdring is so good as well. Man, that guy plays insane on Tracer. He plays insane on the Roadhog. He can play hit scan. His Widowmaker's looking like one of the best in the league. These two, hands down, are the number 1 DPS duo in the league. London Spitfire, I think, are going to be one of the best teams by the end of the league, simply because of their DPS players. And they definitely need to stop subbing out Prophet for other players. I mean, I understand Rascal's a good player, Hureg is a good player, but they're just not on the level of Prophet. They cannot play the Genji on the level of Prophet. Now, I don't know what Prophet's Pharah looks like because that's one hero he hasn't played. I'm sure he could pick it up and be good at it because he plays everything else at a high level. His Genji and Junkrat are really good. There's no reason he wouldn't be able to play Pharah. So maybe they should just have him practice Pharah if that's why they're swapping him out. I don't know. But in general, number 1 DPS duo is Prophet and Birdring, hands down. If you guys enjoyed this list, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. Leave a comment down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Overwatch daily content. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.